From the Home Slice News Center, this is the Daily Slice for Friday, March 17th, 2023. I'm D. Ray Knight. This is what's going on. The City of Rapid City is working on revising its code of conduct for elected officials. The proposed revisions were created after several complaints were made about the current code, which was adopted in 2015. The code revisions go before the council for final approval on Monday night after passing through the city's Legal and Finance Committee this week. The new policy has a process where council leadership can decide if a complaint requires an investigation. It requires council leadership to inform the rest of the council of what action, if any, is being taken on the complaint, but the council can still have a discussion if they want. There is also a complaint form that people can fill out if filing a report on an elected official. The RCFD is looking for some federal funding. Amy Rose has the story.
The Rapid City Fire Department is seeking nearly $123,000 in grant funding for fire prevention measures at public housing facilities located in the city. Rapid City Fire Chief Jason Culberson told the Legal and Finance Committee this week that the department would like to apply for an $81,500 federal grant to install heat-limiting cooktops in the Pennington County Housing and Redevelopment Commission's multifamily units. The fire department is also seeking a $41,144 federal grant to fund hazardous materials training. The Legal and Finance Committee unanimously approved a recommendation to allow the mayor's office and the city finance office to apply for and accept the two grants.
The South Dakota Gaming Commission has approved new rules to make it tougher for those under 21 to gamble in Deadwood casinos. The new rules include requiring each casino to have an employee whose primary duty is to monitor all gaming areas and requiring people under 21 to continue walking through the gaming areas without stopping. The new rules will be presented to the legislature's Rules Review Committee for clearance at its meeting April 11th. In national and international news, Chinese President Xi Jinping is planning to visit Russia next week in an apparent show of support for Russian President Vladimir Putin amid sharpening East-West tensions over the conflict in Ukraine. Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine is expected to dominate Putin and Xi's discussions. China has refused to condemn Moscow's aggression and sought to project itself as neutral in the conflict, even while condemning Western sanctions and accusing NATO and the U.S. of provoking Russia into military action. The Kremlin also announced the visit, saying it would take place at the invitation of Vladimir Putin. Americans want to know if they'll be the ones footing the bill for recent bank rescues. Amy Rose has the details.
The government's response to the failure of two large banks has already involved hundreds of billions of dollars. So, will ordinary Americans end up paying for it one way or another? And what will the price tag be? It could be months before the answers are fully known. The Biden administration said it will guarantee uninsured deposits at both banks. The Federal Reserve announced a new lending program for all banks that need to borrow money to pay for withdrawals. The goal is to prevent a broadening panic in which customers rush to pull out so much money that even healthy banks buckle.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has ordered a number of improvements in access to mental health care to try to reduce suicides in the military, but he is holding off on endorsing more controversial recommendations to restrict gun and ammunition purchases by young troops, sending them to another panel for study. The orders issued Thursday reflect increasing concerns about suicides in the military, despite more than a decade of programs and other efforts to prevent them and to spur greater intervention by commanders, friends, and family members. But Austin's omission of any gun safety and control measures underscore the likelihood that they would face staunch resistance, particularly in Congress, where such legislation has struggled in recent years. Your weather forecast from the Home Slice Weather Center. Wind advisory for today and a slight chance of early snow with a high of 30, low tonight 11. Saturday, sunny and 34. Sunday, more sunshine and 54. And that was your Daily Slice for Friday, March 17th, 2023. The Daily Slice is a production of Home Slice Media Group, hosted by D. Ray Knight with Amy Rose. Executive producer Mark Houston. Engineered by Chris Jacquez. I'm D. Ray Knight. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and have a great weekend.